Hello, and thank you so very much for joining me tonight. I go by luneinnate, and what I'm creating for you today for the collective is a video inspired by Aquarius season to call out, of course, which could be utilized simply as a relaxing video, a method to communicate to your subconscious, or if you're open to the concepts of energy work by proxy, you can certainly use this as a by proxy healing session. And for those of you who don't know what proxy means, when we're doing energy work, proxy in this case is my setup being the thing, the tangible thing that I focus on when I'm focusing on different parts of the body. So if I'm focusing on the eyes and I'm kind of at the lens, so to speak, of my little tripod set up here in camera, then it's like the proxy for the eye placement. It's a little confusing here, right? Because while I might focus on the ears here, the microphone is here, so I do need to be a little creative and play, at least with this setup today, right? And then, of course, we have where the shoulders would be, where my tripod neck is, with the legs of my tripod and the length of the body, and it's just a way that we can focus, essentially, giving me something to focus on. All right, so our theme for this session is about bringing out your uniqueness, healing any, how can we call this, like soul fragmentation that had us in any way feel like we had to fit in. And don't get me wrong, like it serves us to be able to fit in at times, to read the room. Like that is a skill, like reading the room and adjusting yourself accordingly is not a negative thing. It's a very intelligent and beneficial thing to be able to do. But at the same time, that can also, we could take it too far where it influences us in such a way that we're not really being our most authentic or full selves, if you will, or we're kind of dumbing down our creative thinking and thought process, or our potentially, bizarre or kind of unique or different interests or anything like that. So we're going to do a little calling back, if you will, to call back any qualities, particularly with the inner child, with our imagination, our thoughts, our way of thinking, releasing limitations, getting rid of the box entirely, so we can really form ourselves in the truth of our individuality, essentially. All right, so I do hope you enjoy, and we're going to start with our candle. All right, so I'm going to be putting some howlite. These are howlite crystals, chips, into our candle. Blessed my floor a little bit there. And this is for that dreamy kind of energy that my intention is to utilize the release of limitations, right? So we can really think and imagine in big and bold and unique ways. Also for accessing the subconscious. And let me just make sure I close this all the way. Alright. Then we have some patchouli matches. I've gotten so many compliments on my nails. Not now, but I'm letting them breathe a little. But I've been using Mani-Me, M-A-N-I-M-E, in case you're wondering where all that nail art comes from. Okay, so I'm going to light our candle and set our intention. So, on behalf of the highest and greatest good, in perfect comfort and alignment, our intention today, as with every session, is to support your empowerment, your ability to communicate to your subconscious, to drive the bus, so to speak, for yourself, to support your alignment, your inner harmony, inner peace, your clarity of thought, right? And just overall, like, empowering the energetic self and the correspondence of such. But to add a little more specificity to our session, our theme is about calling to the surface our unique qualities, whether that be some type of soul fragmentation and callback and healing, collecting bits of self, if you will, or facets of self that we've kind of let slide to the back of our expression or how we even see ourselves. We're going to be working very much with the solar plexus and the third eye, an interesting pairing, one we don't see very often, or at least I don't see very often myself in my sessions, but they're a great pairing for that unlimited creative thinking and like ideas and the imagination, and the walking the walk, like how we see ourselves, how we express that through our avatars here, through ourselves. All right, so if you'd like to set your own intention for anything, especially in correspondence with this theme that you would like to access or develop or release, even in terms of self-criticism or feeling the need to fit in so much that it becomes a bit of a detriment and not as much of a skill or asset of self, just have a look at this little fire, this little flame and passageway, and set your own intention. Make your own wish, declare your will. Again, of course, on behalf of your highest and greatest good. Okay? We're going to do a quick little add-on to our candle here. And I do just need my notebook to lean on. But I have this piece of paper that one of my favorite Aquarian friends gave to me. It's like a perfumed paper for burning. And I like to make wishes or dedications on this paper. So I'm going to draw the symbol for Uranus and Saturn to honor the zodiac rulers. And an emphasis, with Uranus, who actually just went direct recently. And I'm going to just kind of channel through and write some words. Unique, sovereign, original, true, unlimited, and progressive. And then we're going to draw a little symbol to represent the collective and our intention for the overall well-being of everyone. It's a lot to bite off, right? And as I've ran out of paper now, or space, I'm just going to the paper and burn it. I don't think I have tongs, so I'll just have to do my best. So we're just gonna burn this and let the ashes drop into our candle, so like the whole thing is just empowered. Hope you can see, sorry. Get in there. Okay, so we've got our little messages in there too. in something a little different. I feel like Aquarian energy is very resourceful, you know. It's makes do with what it has. It is about newness and new thought, but it can also be about repurposing things or healing things or fixing something yourself, and maybe you kind of have to use it a special way now. So what I have here is something that I've used in my sessions before, particularly the long forms, and symbolically I love it for this kind of crescent moon shape, and there's this little piece of dyed howlite here, but I like to bring it in for the quality of metal and that unique sound that metal makes. But this was just a necklace that broke, so I opened the link and made it this way, and I use it in my sessions. I don't think it's tin, which would be nice because that's the middle of Jupiter, but we can just assign it with the silver color, kind of pulling from the darkness, like the moon glow, shining in the night sky, or stars. But we're going to use it for sound, and I'm just going to focus all around the body with this kind of interesting metallic noise. Metals, of course, have all unique properties themselves, but they're often known to be protective, as nothing really quite sticks to most metals. Of course, there's magnetisms and things like that, but so just focusing at the back of the head, over the crown, down the spine, the shoulders, the arms, meridians. The solar plexus, the sacral, root, heart, throat, third eye, and up to the crown again. And the intention here, of course, right, I shouldn't say of course, with the sound is to start to break up those kind of almost compressed, like ways we've kind of squeezed ourselves in to some form or some box or some personality or role or character that, or easier for us to even understand ourselves a bit more simplistically. But going down for the knees and ankles. But there's more to it in lifting these limitations, lifting the box, the form, the expectation, and really letting yourself stretch out, just going around the hips, free flow, and become who you really are in there, not like you need to become it, but more so allow it to just be more present in your experience. Just go around the head and shoulders over time, releasing the burden that we've taken on of filling some kind of role of being the goof or being the mom or being, like the mommy friend, or whatever it might be that limits us. We can be all of the things. We can be the goofy mom. Focusing inward on that channel, clearing that channel within you, just in preparation for our session here. The palms. out this vessel again as a reminder, as a symbolism for that water bearer energy. Picture you as a vessel and what you hold inside, your secret sauce, your essence, your unique flavor, perspective, your originality. No one is quite like you. No one's 100% walked your walk, And of course, there's so many overlapping and parallel ways that we can connect with one another. But we also need to acknowledge and honor our uniqueness. So just focus on the you you're cultivating, the essence, the appreciation. And it's not even like cultivating as if it wasn't there, but just allowing it to kind of come forward, right? Come forth into a more engaged or easier to access placement in your connection to self. My other Aquarian friend gifted this to me, so I'm loaded with them. In fact, now that I say it, most of my Aquarian friends give me vessels, or have given me vessels. How funny. You can find your own vessel, a box, a tin, a empty candle, right? Like anything, like a candle tin or something, and make declarations of self, write affirmations, and place it into the vessel, holding it, focusing on it, energizing it, and kind of using it as a ritual of correspondence to pull those qualities and affirmations like out in the surface of the self more. So we have some rosemary for clarity, easy navigation, or at least unmanipulated navigation. And we're gonna kind of reach in and pull, like going in, pulling through. The intention to connect with your unique qualities, your gifts, your differences, the things that make you different. The one-of-a-kind energy within you. Connecting to the heart, and then just gratitude, appreciation for self, for your path, for your interest, for the things that guide you, support your journey. We're going to focus on the third eye and connecting with and empowering that inner imagination, that completely unlimited space of thought, like higher thought. So our lower thought is, there's rules, there's time, there's rules, there's reality, there's fact. Whereas in the higher mind, the innate mind, the more third eye connection to the mind, it's unlimited. It is limited by your imagination, so you want to just empower this space, this void space. And also with the solar plexus, this space of your authenticity, and if you feel like, again, you've taken on some kind of role or character that limits you, like Aquarian energy is not about labels. It's quite fluid in a sense, right? So we just want to create a little flexibility here, flexibility of self. I'm going to focus on the elbows as well now, as if I'm cupping and holding the elbows. And your flexibility with who you've been, who you're creating yourself as, right? Or, the facets of self you call to the surface, your skills, your qualities, your thought patterns, just really honoring, and again, the flexibility of such. And then back to the solar plexus, again, that adaptability, that confidence and security, focusing on the ego to provide a little cushion, a little support there for the ego that gets nervous when we're changing, right? And to focus on just the fact that we're all always changing, and we've all sacrificed qualities or certain things of ourselves to fit in or to navigate. It serves us most of the time. But we just want to empower this space again with that limitless potential that you can, let your true weirdo out sometimes, right? As long as I'm not hurting anyone. It's not hateful, but just like to just be yourself. From one weirdo to another. Alright. I'm gonna use our crystals. Just put my cap back on here. And of course, we're going to work with our gorgeous stones. So here is that mask-like chalcedony. And I love this for the eyes specifically that I see here. This shift in perspective, perhaps, this higher perspective, this kind of idealistic, and I don't mean that as in out of touch with reality, but knowing that we can do better, we can create better, we can move in more supportive ways that are more righteous, more humanitarian, more supportive of the entire collective. I love this as well for that kind of oneness perspective, or as well as the kind of God energy within each of us, and the higher energy within each of us. So maybe you can think and imagine and let your own eyes peer into your subtle, your subconscious, your depths with gratitude, appreciation, non-judgment for exactly who you are. Right. Gonna bring out the Faden quartz. You can see how unique these formations are. They're kind of like flat, not the traditional point. I hope you can see at least a little bit. And we're just gonna comb this through with that intention of kind of touching on, igniting your own sparks, your own uniqueness, your own. I'm going sideways, guys. I'm going this way. I'm following my unique thought form here. It's not ungrounded. It doesn't have to be ungrounded. It doesn't have to be, so like as if it was unreasonable, right? But we need that different perspective, that different thought, that new way of doing things. And with Uranus and Taurus, for a significant amount of time, still, it's a great time to honor that, pull it out of yourself, or call it to the surface, summon. And we're just going to, again, drag and focus on these little sparks and touches and activations that work throughout our energetic systems and the correspondence through such. Now, particularly in the third eye area, calling that new thoughts, that unlimited potential possibilities, connections. And the solar to allow the unexpected, right? Sometimes we surprise ourselves. Just bridging. Then we have our gorgeous Herkimer diamond, the golden Herkimer. Stunning, like truly, like what the heck? What of these aren't a what the heck? Beautiful though, right? Alright, and I love this for it's kind of like UFO vibe, or this container that your soul, let's say, can travel in, this vessel, this point of receiving and bringing down. And it really embodies a lot for me. Golden energy, not to say it couldn't be spirit, but I see it very much as like earth and manifesting and the path and the materials we might need, the resources, and just this like beautiful kind of like primordial material almost, or the pre to the material manifestation energy, that golden activation. Of course, it's very supportive as well. The gold of the mind, of the preservation of the mental field, the Aquarian field, we could say. And the quartz, the Herkimer itself, incredibly high vibrational, spacey, great for meditation, for like dream flying and things like that. Travel, astral travel. So we're just going to sweep through, again, focusing on that center column, focused on that inner channel, calling through the activations of self-expression, of thought, creation, our connections to others, our connections to how we manifest, for a deeper resonance as well with the unseen, with the new, with the adapted. Keep getting like Gen Z like popping in my head. Alright, I'm going to focus in the palms, focusing on the receptive palm, and again those activations of newness, new ways of processing, new things coming at you too. It's not just what you create, it's what you experience and could be inspired by, right? There, I'm sorry, I'll bring it back for a sec. And then focusing on the dominant palm point, and now hear more of your expression of who you are, of your ideas, of your style, of your interests, of what you create, things that have never been seen or done or experienced before, potentially, things that are just very new to you, you know? Okay, and then finally, I was gonna say, sorry I didn't tap on the other ones, but they're not as sturdy. I guess the Herkimer is, but it's got like a funny shape. So of course now the aura treated clear quartz. So I was thinking gorgeous, like gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And we're gonna use this to call through that Uranian, that new way, that expanded, should we say expanded potential, possibility, method, different ways things can come about, the repurposing, restructuring, utilizing things in new ways, or kind of upside down, shifted perspective ways potentially. And I just feel like I want to say this is for someone, but someone who's waiting to start something and thinking they don't have the tools yet, like, go clean out your closet, go look in the garage, look under your bed. Like, you probably have what you need to at least get started and start practicing. All right, so we're just going to connect with the concept of Uranus, of these, my stomach now. That was my stomach. Connect with the concept of Uranus. That's where I left off. I'm going here with the... I struggle for words to explain, right? To put words to, because it's not exactly so definitive or easily explained. It's not so easily boxed in. But the ability to shift the systems within yourself, the patterns, the day-to-day, as you know them right now. And I'll bring you back for the focus heads. These ways of recognizing and appreciating as well the differences in everyone, and seeing how we all have such unique qualities and benefits, and that's why that humanitarian or collaborative effort works so well with you, Aquarian energy. I want to focus on the heart now and sacral, just kind of bridging and channeling through with the intention to support that flexibility, that freedom, that loving non-attachment, that respect of others' will and lives, and how we can't be everything for each person, or we can't be everything for one person, or whatever. It takes a team, to have all the conversations or all the different experiences, right? So we just want to focus on freedom in your relationships. And I don't mean to shift into something that you're not comfortable with, or non-monogamy if you're not comfortable with something like that. That's not what I mean, but just a freedom and appreciation for the fact that we all have a life to live. So giving our partners more freedom, giving ourselves more freedom, not putting so much pressure on either party. Okay. I'm going to focus on the third eye again, and just the activation of the space. I'm seeing like paper mache masks and like where the wild things are kind of vibes. Alright. And we're using this bottle so it doesn't have what the label says. But this is vetiver gardenia. I'm just going to spray this around you. And above and down. Okay, we're just going to do some channeling, focusing on your own unique intentions, what is right for you precisely, your unique ways. I'm feeling like punk music, like Dead Kennedys or something. Like, I don't even know that band. It's just like popping in my head. I don't even know if it's punk, honestly. That's just what I picked up, okay? So forgive me if I'm wrong there. But out of every new thing, music, religion, it comes born from its predecessor, like Christianity and Judaism, like it comes forth and forward. Punk rock music to disco, like disco age, wanting to create something new and different. I hope I'm even right with that. I think I'm a little right, but I'm, who knows, right? But I hope you know what I'm trying to say. So there's got to be, of course, this appreciation for what comes before, because it's sort of like the soup, right? That like creates or calls in or requires something new to develop that's more serving and evolved for the time period. Even the practice of Reiki, right, that I love so much, I keep with the tradition, but I also adapt because this is modern time, so things need adaptation constantly. So it's nice to always honor tradition, but find that balance within as well for your unique style or flair or passions that layer in to create something new from that, which was already established, let's say. All right. I'm seeing like modern art, sculptures. So we're going to just flip up the aura. Just to process the session in. And remember that energy work, if you're participating, if you're allowing yourself to receive, it can stay very active in the system for at least 3 days. But it's actually working out a full 3 weeks, so give yourself some time. This was a gift. Thank you so much. I think that there's a real purity to Aquarian energy. Even pure as in not so emotionally influenced. And we could say our emotions are pure, but they also kind of pull us around, right? So we're just going to sweep, lighten, get a little movement and flow happening in the system while we process. Just that movement. I hope you enjoyed our little session today. Thank you so very much for allowing me to share a little piece of your path and for being a big part of mine. I definitely want to acknowledge that this video is kind of brought to you by Patreon, so thank you so much to Patreon supporters. For those of you who are joining me over there, it goes up and down, depending. It's one of those things that goes up and down, but I kind of broke a threshold over there where over 1,000 people had signed up for our Patreon, and I just could not be more like, what, so thank you so much. It really means so much to me that you're enjoying the content, and the community and just what we have going on over there. So just thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful. I'm hugely grateful to those of you who have been blessed to work with. We just got started with our first class last weekend for the year, and it was just so wonderful. So I just want to thank you as well, and to everyone, thank you for your likes, comments, subscribes, feedback. I appreciate it so much. I'm just sending you just love and blessings. All right, from the very bottom of my heart, I bow to the divine within you, within me, to this connection we share, and I just send you so much love. All right, and namaste.